Right, let's go for a quick tour of the games room. Up here we've just got various consoles, a couple of figures, a few variants on PlayStations, and some older stuff over here on the left. At the back, a few bits hidden away, and lots of other consoles and bits and pieces down the bottom. Over here, this is where I do some of my gaming, and lots of memorabilia stuff up here. And this is the rest of the room, which I'll give you a very quick tour of. Okay, so on this shelf I've got some of the old Atari 2600 bits and pieces, Dreamcast, Game Gear and a few other bits, and some of the real old stuff like Intellivision and Binatone and things that are the real old school gaming. Selection of Dreamcast games, Sega Saturn stuff, GameCubes, and all of the GameCube games that were released in Europe, including some of the Player's Choice versions. Then I've got some Master System down the bottom. Continuing Master System stuff up here. And then on to Mega Drive. A couple of my Fight Stick boxes. And then we've got Atari Lynx and a few Nintendo, N64 and Super Nintendo bits. Up the top here I've got some of my big PC games, the World of Warcraft Collector's Editions, Diablo, StarCraft 2, lots of variants of Game Boys and Nintendo DS's, and then more Mega Drive, a few Nintendo Wii games, Mega CD, or Sega CD as it's called in the States, and then Super Nintendo games which are loose, a couple of 32X games, then N64 games loose, and a small part of my PS2 collection, and then down to the bottom my PSP, PS3 stuff. Onto the next shelf I've got the N64 stuff, and then onto the Saturn, which actually goes all the way down the back here. Unfortunately it's kind of blocked off by stuff at the moment. Back up on the top I've got NES. All of the ones underneath are all Game Boy, and then Nintendo DS above that. And then my Xbox 360 games, Super Nintendo. Hidden away at the bottom are Game Gear games. Behind here I've got some of the bigger boxes of stuff that I just sort of tucked away, some Guitar Hero bits and pieces, and my Portal gun. This is my Atari Lynx games. A lot of these are sealed actually. And then I've got some Amiga games all the way down there. Some of them had to be stacked up in front. And then this shelf is all PlayStation 1. I've tried to go for decent titles here, not just football ones, but I have a tub as well back here full of Spectrum games, but I have no room at all for those on the shelf. Up on the top, various controllers for PlayStation and bits and pieces, and then further along these are all Atari ST, a mixture of Atari ST and Amiga games. And then lots of PC peripherals on top, StarCraft 2 bits, and Mass Effect 3 limited edition controllers and other bits and pieces. So behind this glass cabinet, which I'll come on to in a second, is just all PlayStation 2s. So quite a few of those. They're relatively cheap to come by, so it's ended up quite a large collection. And then in this cabinet, some of my more valuable bits and rarer bits, or just bits that look nice on display. So I've got a couple of the old Game & Watch games, some sealed copies, things like Tales of Vesperia, Tales of Graces, fantastic art book that Valve sent over to us, that's signed by the whole team, and then some of the DS stuff. Most of these are all sealed. Copy of Mega Games 6 Volume 3, which is actually quite difficult to come by for cheap. A couple of 3DS's, one of the XL, some other games, and down here Super Mario 1, 2 and 3 for the NES, some other collector's editions, and Donkey Kong Jr. And then onto the bottom shelf, Nintendo Game Boy games. So all of these I've tried to get in really good condition. Love this console as a kid, and still highly recommend to be played. So that's a quick tour of my games room, just showing what bits and pieces I have in my collection. Thanks very much for watching.